Sheffield United have landed a midfielder born in Brazil, and he goes by the name of Gustavo Harmer. But who is he? Gustavo Martin Emilio Harmer joined Sheffield United from Coventry City. Harmer is a right-footed 26-year-old, 5'7", great height for a man, central midfielder, a Brazilian-born Netherlands youth international. But why? Because he moved to the Netherlands as a child, well, with his parents. Harmer began his career at the team he apparently supports, so watch out for a bid from them in the future, Feyenoord, after rejecting ADO Den Haag. At Feyenoord, he progressed through their much heralded youth system. Of course, it's brought up some truly magnificent football players. He made 2 appearances for the first team before being loaned out to FC Dordrecht. Hopefully got that correct. For the 2017-18 season, he has represented the Netherlands for under 18 level and for under 20 level. And Harmer made his professional debut on the 2nd of April 2017 in an Eredivisie match for Feyenoord against Ajax, coming on as an 89th minute substitute. I mean, they must have thought a lot of him if that's the team you get your debut against. It was, unfortunately, a 2-1 loss. On the 7th of August 2017, as mentioned, he would then go out on loan. He joined Dordrecht in a 1-year loan deal, made 39 appearances in all competitions. Harmer then joined Zwolle from Feyenoord, permanent deal. That was on the 2nd of May 2018. He signed a 3-year contract with the club. In total, he played 50 games for their first team, scoring 4 with 7 assists. And then it was on the 3rd of July 2020, a well-known English club who formerly played at the very top level, Coventry City, completed the signing of Harmer for a fee believed to be around £1.2 million. A few different websites dispute that, but I've gone with the higher end of the guesstimates. The Cov Scouts, they clearly watched Harmer closely during his 2 seasons at Zwolle, and they liked what they saw. In total for Cov, it's been success after success, 131 appearances, 19 goals and 24 assists. And Harmer has actually himself been quoted as saying, "For me, the focus is now on a step up towards the Premier League." This was to Dutch football website 𝗬𝗿𝗄𝗂𝗎. Other top leagues would also be nice, but these are my real goals now. England attracted me very much, and Coventry was a perfect step. Here I was sure that I would play regularly. In the end, I never regretted it for a moment. I play everything here, and this team really feels like home. End quote. Harmer is rarely injured, and that might be a surprise to some if you've ever seen him play, given his quick thinking, his energetic up and down the pitch style. He made 44 appearances last season after 41 in the previous campaign and 44 in the one before that. So durable. Gus, I'm going to call him that, is a big occasion player. We saw that in both the playoff semi-finals and the playoff final last season. Harmer getting a goal against Middlesbrough in that playoff semi-second leg, which is quite impressive, of course, because Middlesbrough were already promoted to the Premier League at that point. And bagging, of course, in the playoff final against eventual winners, Luton Town. So he can score goals. He can get assists. Let's look at what he's done in that regard in the Championship. In the 21-22 season, he scored 3 goals, but he got 10 assists. In the 2022-23 season, he scored 9 goals and added 11 assists. He's a very accurate shooter, but he also clearly can set up others. He had an assist in Coventry's first Championship game of this season. Another area he's really strong in is when he receives the ball, he's facing his own goal and he's put under pressure. He doesn't panic. He's clever enough to work the space and get away from danger with the ball. That's excellent awareness of his surroundings. It's head-up play. It's wonderful peripheral vision. Wish I had that. He likes to receive the ball and look to create. That's always, I think, the sign of a good player. He's not selfish either, and he isn't afraid of getting forward, supporting the attack. I've seen clips of him, and I've been watching a lot. Giving and going, running through the middle, as well as outside, And because he's good at delivering a cross, be it low and hard, a driven cross, which I always think is my favourite because it can cause absolute anarchy. A defender can get something on that own goal, who knows? Or floated, if needed. He's got both in his locker. He likes to get the ball into dangerous areas. However, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter for him how it comes about. He will get that ball and always try to get that ball in an area, either for someone else to create or he will create it himself. If he's allowed the freedom, I think he can show some of his undoubted flair, because he does have tricks, and be able to demonstrate his brave passes. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. And there's a reason I deliberately say brave passes rather than just passes. He can really support the attack. That's something I like about a player that, if you look him up on a number of computer games, it'll say defensive midfielder, but I think there's a lot more, and that's hopefully coming across in this video. Coventry City boss Mark Robins has spoken about Gus. He was among the best players in the Championship last season. Robins felt that 𝗏 had taken his game to a whole new level last season, epitomised in a 4-1 win at Blackpool, where he had a hand in all 4 goals. This is what Mark Robins said. We said in the dressing room that he's been as good as anyone in the league. He said this to Coventry Live. He's been really good. There is some good play and good passing, and he's lively. Not just lively, because he's got some really good qualities as well. The only thing I would say is that he can score more goals, and that'll be the next step for him and for us. But I think he's been really good. Areas of concern. His discipline hasn't been too much of an issue, but he is aggressive. And Premier League referees have been known to maybe wave a card here or there. Some call them card happy. So might want to keep an eye on that. Also worth noting, in his 5th appearance for Coventry City, a 3-1 loss against Bournemouth, he was shown a red card for violent conduct, which resulted in a 3-match suspension. Another area not his strongest suit is his aerial ability, simply as he's not the tallest. In more detail, let's look at last season's pass completion stats. It's 68% in the 4th percentile. 96% of midfielders in a similar league to him, and who've played a similar amount of minutes to him, have completed more accurate passes than him. He is someone that attempts forward passes, and as I mentioned before, brave passes. So this could explain this. He tries the difficult, the audacious. When it works, it's sublime. He's more likely to get it forward rather than play it safe, rather than play it sideways or backwards. He isn't shy either of playing the long ball. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He can get about and tackle, but 1.84 challenges lost per 90 is a worrying statistic that puts him in the 10th percentile. So 90% of players are better than him in that stat. I always find these slightly misleading, these kind of stats, but if he's playing next to a tough tackler, someone who can win the ball, particularly from dribblers, which 𝗏 won just 50% of his challenges. It was actually just under 50% of his challenges against players that are dribbling at him. But then I think we could have someone next to him that could compensate for this. I think we will as well. Let's look at his overall attributes. I always like to end on a positive because he's really good at corners, really good at free kicks. So set pieces, massive tick there. Long shots, as I think that's probably been clear and evident from if you've seen any clips of him and hopefully this video. Really good first touch, excellent technique. He's extremely aggressive, but not in a way that worries me too much. A terrier, you could describe him. In the middle, brave, composed, dogged determination. That's the sort of stereotypical way you could throw out about Gus, but I think it's actually accurate. A good presser. He's got vision. He works hard with his team. He's got tremendous work rate, just full stop. And he makes good decisions. He's got great concentration. He's very agile, naturally fit, as we've mentioned, that incredible record of not being injured. And I am touching wood as I say that because I want that to continue. And he's quite quick as well. That, in, I would like to say a nutshell, but it's a sort of 9-minute nutshell, is Gustavo 𝗏. And I think this is a really exciting signing. But what, more importantly, do you think of this edition? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Sheff United Way.